Hello, this is Billy Core from the Carolina Circle Mall Wiki. Today is Sunday, February the 15th of 2015, and today's video will be a positive look at Windows Millennium, aka Windows ME. What happened to the lights? What are you doing? Who are you? That hurts. Oh, good grief. Quit punching me. Why are you doing this? I'm sorry. Well, as you can possibly tell, Windows ME is obviously not a very popular topic to be discussing, especially when it's looked at in a positive light, as I've been painfully and harshly and dangerously reminded of. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a positive look at Windows Millennium Edition, no matter what cost it may take to my life. Does my mouth supposed to taste like blood and metal? Well, thanks to the magic of video editing and very painful and dreadful physical therapy, I have made a full recovery. So let's resume the video. Windows ME, how do you describe it? It's kind of a stopgap for home users that kind of came in between Windows 98 and Windows XP. You see, there was originally going to be a home edition of Windows 2000, which was at the time codenamed Windows Neptune. But unfortunately, due to, I don't know, Illuminati, Windows Neptune just never came to be. And so instead we just had the Windows 2000 Professional for business and power users, and to make up for Windows Neptune and to fill the gap before Windows XP came out, which they were still developing at the time. Instead it was called, instead it was a beta known as Windows Whistler. Microsoft released one more version of Windows based on the Windows 9X kernel, known as Windows Millennium Edition, or more commonly known as Windows ME. Now, unfortunately, Windows ME was plagued with problems, and I'm sure you've heard so many stories and nightmares of former users of Windows ME. It was very crash-happy, not very reliable, lacked real DOS mode. Well, it still ran on DOS, but you couldn't access real DOS, if you get what I'm saying. So, a lot of legacy DOS applications just really couldn't be run on Windows ME, or it would cause many a system crash. However, for me personally, and for a few other people, I've never really had that many problems with Windows ME. It ran surprisingly well on my never obsolete E-machine back in 2000 when I first bought this upgrade CD. This is just a custom jewel case cover I cut out of an old edition of Nickelodeon magazine, Michael Schaaf's Broken Windows 2001, because the Windows ME upgrade did not come with a jewel case cover. But there is the upgrade CD. As a matter of fact, this is a special version of the upgrade for Windows ME. This was the step-up upgrade, where for just $50, compared to the regular upgrade, which was $100, you could buy this and you could still upgrade from Windows 98 to Windows ME with no trouble at all. The only difference being is that on the step-up upgrade, you're unable to upgrade from Windows 95 or anything else like that. However, if you had Windows 98 already, you could save $50 and just buy the step-up upgrade. So, there you have it. And it also ran well on my dad's HP Pavilion from 1999. We upgraded it as well. And, believe it or not, it actually ran reliably on the Toshiba Satellite 2505 CDS. A little slow, but it ran pretty well. The only computer I ever really had true nightmares running Windows ME on was my 2001 Gateway, which I got new in March of 2001, which I think was a big waste of money for all the power it had. Windows ME ran like a total dog on there. I would leave the room for a minute, come back, and the entire system would be locked up. And it would constantly crash on me, and it was just no end of trouble. In fact, even upgrading to Windows XP on that machine didn't save it either. But anyway, that was my only real bad experience with Windows ME. But other than that, unlike a lot of people, Windows ME has never really given me too many problems. Now, I will say this though, I do prefer to run Windows 98. But Windows ME, if I had to use it instead of Windows 98, I certainly could, depending on the system, because Windows ME was one of those operating systems where some computers it would run like a dream on. However, some computers it would just be a total nightmare and a train wreck. So it all depends on the system you have. Sometimes it'll run well, sometimes it won't. So that's why to me it's just best to stick with Windows 98 if possible. Even though Windows ME isn't really all that bad, because you do get a few cool features added to the Windows 9X system, like the first version of Windows Movie Maker, what was it, Windows Media Player. Of course you could add that to Windows 98, and System Restore, even though it never really worked well on Windows ME. So, I have taken the liberty for this video of taking a spare 10GB IBM Fujitsu hard drive and putting it in my Compact Desk Pro EN and installed Windows ME on here. And it's running right now. And a while ago I captured some footage of Windows ME running on the Compact via my PC to TV encoder, so let's take a look at it, shall we? Okay, we are booting into the Compact Desk Pro right now. There's a power on self-test, and now there's the classic Windows ME splash screen. You can see it has a lot of aspects of Windows 2000, but with the Windows 9X kernel, the same one that powered Windows 95 and 98. Although, arguably not as well. Alright, I'm going to log into the network. I do have this connected to up through Ethernet, and here comes the startup sound. Same as Windows 2000, as you just heard. And here is the Windows ME desktop. Haven't really installed a whole lot on here. I just wanted to install some of the most basic stuff, like Microsoft Office and a game or two. So let's go into system properties. I got 320 megs of RAM on here, way more than enough for Windows ME. And let's go through the device manager. NVIDIA Riva TNT2 video card. Very good card, by the way, for this kind of era computer. Using a Packard Bell monitor. Intel network controller. And a Sound Blaster 128 sound card. Very good sound card, if you ask me. And all the chipset mumbo jumbo, and has two USB 1 ports on there. So let's take a look at the programs. Like I said, not a whole lot, just a couple of games and Microsoft Office and Work Suite. So let's load up Minesweeper. Never been good at this game. I've never been able to figure out how to play it. As you can see, I just killed myself there. I'm sure there's some kind of strategy I'm not getting. And, of course, 3D Pinball. This was omitted from Windows 98, as you probably remember. Plus for Windows 95, for whatever reason, did not appear in Windows 98 or Plus for Windows 98. However, it was included in Windows ME along with 2000. Just a quick little game. The school computers in middle school. Free time. Although this was so funny enough, I kind of associate this game with Windows XP more than I do any other older operating system. And this originally came with the Maxis pinball collection. I can't, Full Tilt Pinball, that's what it was called. I didn't see it. Okay, enough of that. So we're going to continue. Let's check out some Microsoft Office related goodness. As you can see, everything so far is running on here really well. Loading up Word 2002. And the only thing I have to say about this system is that it runs a little bit slower on ME than it does with Windows 98, but not a whole lot. But it is rather reliable, I have to admit. So we're just going to type up some randomness here. This is Windows ME running on my Compact Desk Pro EN. What you gonna do about it? Of course, I typed this up before I recorded this narration. And we're not going to save that because, well, no one else needs to see that. And let's check out PowerPoint 2002. Not much really to do here that I can think of. This presentation is boring. Just like I am, apparently. Oh gosh. And again, we're not going to save that. And let's play a Midi file. Unlike 95 and 98, Windows ME does not include the classic Midi files like Canyon, Passport, and that kind of stuff. However, it does include a few unique ones. So we'll take a listen to one of them once I find it. And this is one problem I've been having with it. The folders keep resetting themselves when I'm trying to view them. So let's listen to Flourish. I upgraded this to Windows Media Player 9. This originally shipped with Windows Media Player 7. I kept 7 in here for this video. Okay, now let's play a game, shall we? Let's play a rather era-appropriate game that would have been played with Windows ME. I know I played this on Windows ME back in the day quite a bit. Midtown Madness, the first one. I would play Midtown Madness 2 on here, but I can't seem to find my copy of it. Skip through the loading screen there. And we're going to adjust a few settings here. I'll be using my Logitech gamepad from 2009, which actually works on ME. Change the resolution to 800 by 600. Everything else looks good there, so we'll proceed to single player. We'll create my profile. By the way, Windows ME is not staying on this computer. I am going to put my original 8 GB hard drive back in here after this video is done, and I will be returning to good old Windows 98 just because it's just more practical and nostalgic for me. But this is just a fun little experiment. Alright, we'll go with my typical Ford Mustang GT. Red. Alright, now we gotta wait for the game to load, and by the way, we'll be driving through Chicago, home of Keenan and Kel, and Steve Urkel. So, we might run into him. No.
See all the sights of the beautiful city of Chicago. See all the sights of the beautiful city of Chicago.
Well, he said that twice, but let's drive around Chicago. We'll just do a little loop around the city. Dashboard view because it's more comfortable for me. Again, this is cruise mode, pretty much the sandbox mode, so we're not really racing or anything, we're just driving around the city, which is what I always do anyway. I remember, especially with Midtown Madness too, there was, back in the day, there was a pretty good body board. And for both games, I remember adding custom vehicles. Like I remember having a Honda Odyssey minivan in this version of Midtown Madness. And I remember in Midtown Madness 2, I actually had the Back to the Future DeLorean. And, I believe I also had the Honda Civic up here. But, I can't confirm I didn't have the Back to the Future DeLorean time machine in Midtown Madness number 2. Hopefully I'll be having to do a lot of audio with this one because part of the video has too much quality. But that's why we have. Alright, I believe we're going to take this exit here going to downtown Chicago. Obviously, this version of Chicago is possible. Real Chicago, but then again, I've never been to Chicago. Matter of fact, the only two states I've visited outside of North Carolina were Virginia and South Carolina. Yes, I know, I'm pathetic. Okay, we're in a big city. Let's jump this drawbridge. Whoa! I didn't think we would this close. And as you can see, we're damaging your whole bit. But again, this is just a game. By the way, don't drive like this in real life. I know I don't. In fact, I only go 5 miles over the speed limit, whereas most people around here go about 10 or 15 over the speed limit. But I digress. Get back on the highway. Alright. Around here. And we completely wrecked our car. It will rebuild ourselves, but I think we're just going to exit back into Windows. And you know what? I think we'll go ahead and shut Windows ME down for the evening. As you can see, it runs really well on this system. I really don't have any qualms with it. Now, as you can see here, if I will show it, there is no exit to MS-DOS select option here, because like I mentioned earlier, there is none. Even though this still runs on top of DOS, you can't really access DOS anymore. There are hacks, but they really don't do anything. So there you saw Windows ME running on this little system. As you can see, this is one of the systems that Windows ME does run really well on. Like I said, sometimes it won't, sometimes it will. But If you have a compact Desk Pro Ian like I have, Windows ME will run just fine on it. In fact, as I may have mentioned before, it automatically detected the NVIDIA Riva TNT2 card that was built in. However, this is only a temporary setup. I am going to put my 80 gigabyte hard drive back in here and go back to using Windows 98 simply because, well, it's more practical and more nostalgic for me. So, that will just about do it for this video. I have recovered from that very violent incident, by the way. So, this is Billy Core, signing off. Wait a minute. I almost forgot one of the most important aspects of Windows ME. And that, my friends, is the infamous Windows ME introduction video. This always appears when you first install Windows ME, unless, like me, you don't, the system doesn't pick up all the drivers all at once. But we'll go ahead and take a look at it now, and I will give my obnoxious opinions on certain aspects of the video. I will upload a clearer version of this without my narration. Even though this is on YouTube, I do like to have it on my channel. So we're going to go ahead and load this up here. Still on the Desk Pro, by the way. It emulates a fake Windows Media Player window, but you really can't do anything with it. Oh yeah, here we go, folks. Boy, this music brings back memories. Not all of them are good, though. Digital media. Let's see what we can do with digital media. Well, with Windows ME, we'll throw a bunch of digital media-related products around your head, and as well as Windows Media Player will float around your head. That's technology for you, folks, even in the year 2000. And it will also throw various cameras around your head, apparently. I would check that video camera. I don't think the tape is working properly. It keeps spilling out the tape mechanism. It's like one of those old all-in-one gateways back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And here's probably the most classic part of this video, where apparently you can kill Windows ME by bashing the keyboard with a plastic hammer. And that mother is just so okay with this, apparently. Like, oh, you. I am so not going to ground you for destroying my computer. And home networking. Always a very fun aspect for me. As you know, networking is a curse for me. Nothing ever seems to go right for me when it comes to networking. What else? Rich internet experience. Yeah, a lot. I know for us, the most of the years we had Windows ME, we were still on dial-up, and we were bouncing from internet provider to internet provider. Sometimes we'd be with America Online. Sometimes we'd be with AT&T. Sometimes we'd be with Earthlink. And it just goes into a little tour where you can click certain things and it will tell you what it does. So, this is the real end of this video. Billy Core, signing off.